The day was November 6th, 2015, with the disappointing Zombies campaign of Advanced Warfare releasing just before this game, and the last Black Ops title being Black Ops 2, which was a great game, however, half of the maps were not great. Little did we know that we were on the verge of having the greatest and best Zombies mode to ever release to this day, which still holds up 10 years later. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a critical breakdown of why Black Ops 3 Zombies is objectively the best Zombies ever made. But you know the deal with these sorts of videos, guys. If you like these sorts of videos and want to see more from me, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more of these long form YouTube videos. I'm trying to get one of these out every Friday for you, so you guys have something to watch over the weekend. However, I do stream every day at 4 PM, so feel free to tune to those too. Anyways, that's the intro, let's get into it. In the script I have laid out here, I kind of struggle to start with Black Ops 3. There is just so much good to talk about in this game in terms of how brilliant it was, but I think we'll start with the maps. The maps is probably the most important thing about the game. Black Ops 3 started off with an absolute banger, Shadows of Evil. Although Shadows of Evil was very much hated at launch, and not for good reason, but because we were used to a lot simpler maps, but the only complexity we got was Origins and Mob at the time, it was hated. But as we grew older, as we played the game more, people grew to Shadows and realized how good of a map it actually was. The theme, the beast mode, everything about the game was fantastic. Innovations left, right and center. They kept the same system with BO2 but expanded it further with movement mechanics being so crisp, so smooth, and also with the AATs on release and Pack-a-Punch and new quests. Oh, it was brilliant. It was a brilliant game. And then we also got the Giant alongside Shadows of Evil, which is not an exactly expanded map, much to the imagination, but in my opinion, I think the Giant was a fantastic side DLC if you got bored of Shadows of Evil, which having one map for a few months does get kind of boring after a while, especially if you're playing it every day. And it is a perfect side map in my opinion, because the Giant is a simple yet nostalgic map that we all are familiar with, and also they didn't delay content because of the DLC, and I hate that about modern Activision. They'll give us a side map, but then they'll affect the main content. With Black Ops 3, they did not do that. They gave us a side map and then also still released 4 great maps, one of them not so great, but 4 fantastic maps. Let's move on to DLC 1, Der Eisendrache. Der Eisendrache pretty much took everything that Origins did and just perfected it. Better movement, better wonder weapons, better Easter egg, less RNG, the map was fantastic. In my opinion, they kinda missed with Zetsubo no Shima with the tedious setup and also not the great map layout and also a bunch of annoying little things too. However, compared to what we have now and also compared to a lot of Zombies maps, Zetsubo is not that bad. It's pretty bad. I would say it's now overrated because a lot of people rate it far more than they should. However, Zetsubo's not a terrible map. We've definitely seen worse. But DLC 3 also comes out, Gorod Krovi, an actually challenging Black Ops 3 map, in the base map pool that is anyways. Raygun doesn't take you very far, so does the Mark III, and also one of the harder Easter eggs in BO3. Fantastic map. GK is set with dragons in the fields of Stalingrad. It's just fantastic, honestly. Whole story linking to killing all of the characters and putting them in the summoning key in order to save the universe, where obviously in DLC 4, everything goes tits up with Revelations, DLC 4 of Black Ops 3. Revelations was a great map in my opinion. I think it played fantastically, however I do have criticisms of the Easter egg. All in all, I do think Revelations is a fantastic map. Great for casual play. They used nostalgia and also add some new things onto it. So we got Narcs, Varuks, all of that shit on the same map, plus some new mechanics. Great mentions, great for nostalgia purposes especially, and like I said, for casual play, it is just fantastic. I think BO3's DLC run was probably the best we're ever gonna get, because all of the maps hit. In my opinion, the only map that didn't hit was Zetsubo. But that's down to personal opinion, and of course we've seen worse maps. The map lineup in Black Ops 3 was just purely elite. There's just no denying that in my opinion. But then we move on to the next point I have about Black Ops 3. Not that are not the DLC maps, but they're still technically maps. We have Zombie Chronicles and mod tools. Black Ops 3 is still to this day one of the only CODs that was continued to be developed after the first year initially released. Usually COD makes a COD game, and they update it for the year, and then a new COD comes out, and that becomes the shiny new toy. And the other game just kind of gets left behind. Black Ops 3 did not do that. Despite the launch of Infinite Warfare, they still kept going with Black Ops 3, which was just such an insane thing. After Black Ops 3 had already finished its life cycle, here came Zombie Chronicles. And like I said, Black Ops 3's DLC run was already generational. It was already fantastic. And just to add the cherry on top to all this fantastic DLC that we received, we get a hit of nostalgia with Nacht der Toten, Verrückt, Shino Numa, Kino der Toten, Ascension, Moon, and Origins, which are all blasts from the past from a certain point, and have the perfect mixture of complexity and simplicity. You have maps as simple as Nacht der Toten, where it's literally 2 doors and a Wonder Fizz and a box, and also Origins, which is an extremely intricate and complicated map for the people who are more hardcore. This DLC kept us entertained for so long. I could not stop talking about it after I got it initially when in secondary school, honestly. I fucking loved it so much. And that brings up the maps total in Black Ops 3 to 14 maps. I'm sorry, we are never gonna get a game ever again which gives us maps in the double digits. That is insane to me. How could you argue with 14 maps? There's a map for literally everybody in Black Ops 3, and that's partially the reason why I think it's just so fantastic. But let's just say you're a weird person. You're a really strange person who doesn't like any of the maps for some reason. I don't know why you wouldn't, but you know. We then can introduce mod tools. And I know some of you are saying, oh, but not everyone has mod tools. Black Ops 3 has been out for 10 years, bro. Lock in and get a PC already. And if you're too young, then that's too bad. But mod tools are one of the greatest things to ever hit this game. We had a generational DLC run, Zombie Chronicles, and also mod tools, which literally makes the maps expansions infinite. We now have Die Rise remastered, Call of the Dead remastered, Buried remasters in the works, Transit remasters in the works. All the maps that we didn't get are being remastered. On top of that, we're getting any sort of custom map that you like. Tower maps, challenge maps, good maps, unique maps, funny maps, literally anything you can think of. In the background, I'm playing Cheese Tower, which was a blast to play with my friends, and I also beat this solo, which I'm never going to stop talking about because that was actually really hard. But you see the variety that you can have with Black Ops 3. It is insane. All the possibilities are endless in Black Ops 3. Alas, mod tools not being available to everyone, but the DLC in Black Ops 3 is still absolutely phenomenal. The mod tools just take it to that 10 out of 10 experience. I want to also touch on gameplay balance in Black Ops 3. Obviously, we know that Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 are a bit more hardcore and they take a lot more skill. Whereas Black Ops 4 to Cold War to BO6 do not take much skill at all. I feel like Black Ops 3 takes this difficulty and nails it on the fucking head. Because it's not too hard, however it's not too easy. It's the perfect balance for casual play. For hopping into zombies and just having a good time, Black Ops 3 is absolutely phenomenal. You can either make your gameplay experience harder by not using Gobblegums, or you can make it easier by using Gobblegums. The experience is completely up to the user and what the user plays. If the user wants to play a harder map, they can play a harder map. If the user wants to play an easier map or a simpler map, they can play a simpler map. There's a map for everyone, and there's also options to make the game easier or harder depending on what you want to do. Black Ops 3 has to be the most inclusive zombies run we have ever seen. Like I said, there is a map for everyone. Speaking of Gobblegums, I want to touch on that too. Gobblegums was probably one of the most needed and also creative innovations of all time. We had Dr. Monty's Factory, and also we introduced camos in Black Ops 3, but less so because it was only red hex. But even still, we had gun progression, we had level progression that meant something due to the Gobblegums, we had zombies prestige. Black Ops 3 basically took the heart and soul of Black Ops 2 and said, look, I'm going to expand this and make it phenomenal. Dr. Monty's Factory with the gambling made us come back constantly to gamble for that perkaholic, to gamble for that shopping free, to get even better Gobblegums, to have even easier games, and then also the addition of Newton's cookbook as well, so you can have that trade-off for sacrificing some Gobblegums for a better Gobblegum. Like, the system was just perfect, in my opinion. Oh, but Gobblegums make it too easy. Gobblegums are too easy. Okay, but why don't you just play with classics, which make the game significantly harder and a lot more difficult, which I do now because I'm kind of bored of megas now, so I kind of just play with classics. Classics don't help you all that much. They're a great addition, but they don't overpowered like megas. Like I said, once again, it is also down to the user, what they want to do. How hard do you want your experience? That is why I think it's just so good. So good. One last point I want to make about Black Ops 3 as well is that they didn't stray away from classic tropes. For example, Black Ops 4 tried to innovate without just making any sense. For example, damage-based points, giving you the specialist, spawning with 200 health. Black Ops 3 does not do that. Black Ops 3, like I said, takes the classic zombies that we know and just expands it beautifully in every direction. They could do no wrong in Black Ops 3. They expanded it via more quests, progression to do, calling cards. God, don't even get me started on the Easter eggs on Black Ops 3. They are so good. Beautifully crafted Easter eggs. Because in Black Ops 2, they weren't really a high thing, you know? Black Ops 2, the Easter eggs weren't really great. The only really decent Black Ops 2 Easter egg that we got was Origins. Black Ops 3 comes firing out the gates with fantastic Easter eggs. Shadows of Evil, I will say, was a little bit of a mid Easter egg. The Giant also kind of mid but needed to contribute. But then we got hit with Horizon, which was the best, I still think, the best Easter egg ever made. Zetsubo no Shima, mid-map in my opinion. But at least they had quite a decent Easter egg, but the steps are kind of dog shit, I can't lie. GK, another great Easter egg. All of these have boss fights, by the way. And Revelations, the ultimate wrap-up to all of it. Finally putting an end to the zombie surrender, as so we thought, until Black Ops 4 release, that is. But the Easter eggs, to the maps, to the mechanics, to the Gobblegums, to the movement, everything was just perfect in this game. And that is why I think Call of Duty Black Ops 3 has the title for the best zombies game ever made. There's just so much to love in Black Ops 3 in my opinion. There's just so much to do, so much to love, so much to play. If I were to have one game until I die, it would be this game in my opinion, because there's just so much to do. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be everything from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video explaining why I think Black Ops 3 is probably, if not definitely, the best zombies game that we've ever seen without debate. But yeah, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.